post-appointment update. Everything has changed. Hey, hi, hello, everybody.
Hey.
So we are a couple days past the ECV procedure, and it worked. That's the update. She flipped. They flipped her over. So she is hopefully now still flipped, and should be head down. We are on our way to our 38-week appointment with our midwife. So they will feel my belly like they usually do and hopefully tell us that she has remained head down. I don't think I have felt her flip over, but I don't know, I didn't feel her flip over the first time either, and it feels like she's just always doing somersaults in there, so we will see. Do you think she is flipped over, Trav, or is she still being good?
You haven't said you felt your bladder get kicked at all recently, so...
That is true. If anything, I think I have felt her legs up higher, so that seems good. Unless she's, her feet are up by her head, which I guess is also possible. Babies do some crazy stuff in there. So the procedure was super weird. We filmed a brief moment of it, but it was really long. We were there from 7:30 to like 1 p.m. Is that right?
Yeah.
It's a long day. It was very medicalized. Like, I was not expecting. I was literally admitted to the hospital. I put on a hospital gown. I had like the bracelet on my wrist. They drew blood and I had an IV put in, and I was like hooked up to a bunch of monitors before and after. There were like, I don't know, 6 different people in the room at one point, all talking to us at once and like asking questions. It was a lot. It was very intense. So much more than I think either of us were expecting it to be. They had offered pain meds. Like, they gave me the option of either getting like IV pain meds or an epidural. I declined both of those. I figured if I was thinking I was gonna do childbirth unmedicated, that I could probably handle this procedure unmedicated, or at least should try. Although they did say that the epidural can increase the likelihood of the procedure working because it can help you like relax, which makes it easier for them to spin the baby, because they literally just grab your belly with like both hands, or sometimes multiple people grab your baby through your belly and like turn her, like push on you to turn her. So they did that. I found it more uncomfortable than painful, but I also think that my procedure was a lot easier than is normal. Like, I think I even heard the nurse out in the hallway telling the med student that was like following her around that she had like never seen that, where it was just one person that did the procedure and it was one turn. The whole thing took like 10 seconds to do, which made all of the wait time before and after seem really silly. I was glad that it happened quickly and that it worked, of course, but yeah, it did seem kind of extra to have all of that stuff done before and after, but
especially the like 8 needle sticks that you had to have because they couldn't like get the IV in, and then they had to take blood twice.
Yeah, I literally had 6 different pokes. Could not figure out how to get an IV in me. Like, they had to call in a backup nurse to try to dig around in there and find a vein. She eventually got one in like the crook of my arm, and they got the IV in, which of course they never used. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. Like I said, there were 6 people talking at us. There were a bunch of consent forms that I had to sign about, like, do I want to receive blood to save my life in the event of an emergency? I had to consent to the procedure. I had to consent to an emergency C-section. I don't know, there's just like a lot of forms that I had to sign, which I get why they have to do that all just in case, but again, when the procedure actually did happen, it was literally like 10 seconds and it was over. So a whole lot of hype about kind of nothing. That was my experience with the ECV. Not everybody's experience, but they did say afterward that basically that it was kind of too easy. Like it shouldn't have been quite that easy to get her to flip, and it made them concerned that she was at a higher risk or potential to flip back. They called it an unstable lie, basically that she just moves around too much and is maybe has too much room in there, which does not feel accurate, but I don't know. So that is concerning, of course, that she is more likely to flip back over. And then we'll be back to square one. But if that does happen, I think what we would do is redo the ECV, flip her back, and then they would induce me right away. So hopefully I would still be able to have, the birth plan that we were planning on and expecting, except I would, start that out with an induction. So the other news is that they still did want to induce me at 39 weeks. Yeah, because of that funky cord attachment that the baby has, or that I have, I guess. They did not want to let me go to full term. They also said that because I am at a greater risk of her flipping back, they would just as soon do the induction sooner rather than later, so at 39 weeks. Just to not give her any extra time to flip back over. Okay, so we are scheduled for an induction for 8 days from today, which is nuts. If I haven't gone into labor naturally on my own before then, which is still my goal, I have all sorts of things I'm gonna try to see if I can kickstart things. Mostly people say that type of thing doesn't work, but we'll see what happens. I'm gonna give it a shot anyway, because I don't really have anything to lose with that. And then if not, we will be going in at 10:30 at night, 8 days from now, to be induced, and then we're gonna have this baby. So she's gonna be a little January baby, kind of no matter what at this point. Which is exciting and crazy, and we have lots of feelings about. What are your feelings?
It'll be nice. Rather than just worrying about all the things, we can just start doing the things.
Yeah, I agree. It'll be nice. We feel ready. We feel excited. We had like a day of shock when we first learned that she had flipped breech, and then kind of a day of panic, and then since then I feel like we are just kind of bring it on, like it is what it is, and whatever happens, and we will deal with it. And honestly, any day is a good day to have our baby come into the world, so we're just excited and ready. But we are on our way to this appointment now. Hopefully, fingers crossed, she has not flipped back over. But we will see what the midwife says, and we will let you know what's going on. Post-appointment update. Everything is ruined. No, everything has changed. All of our plans, you know what they say about plans, right? Like, even the best laid plans fall apart when your baby is feeling mischievous. That's what they say, right? That's parenting. So we get to the appointment. They take my blood pressure like they always do. It's one point into what they would categorize as high blood pressure for this point in pregnancy. And apparently, if you have 2 of those readings past the 20-week pregnant mark, spaced out by 4 hours or more, which we had one today, we had one 4 days ago at the ECV, those things together mean that you have gestational hypertension, which is high blood pressure during pregnancy, and they just want you to have your baby immediately, essentially.
The blood pressure machine beeps, by the way.
Yeah, it gets very angry at you when your blood pressure is out of range. I'm like, excuse me, it's 1 point, so calm yourself. But yeah, so I apparently have high blood pressure, by their definition of having high blood pressure. And the risk of having high blood pressure is that it can evolve into preeclampsia, which is bad. I mean, there's lots of risks with that. I mean, your organs can shut down, I think. Bad things can happen to me, bad things can happen to baby if it progresses to preeclampsia or worse, eclampsia. So you want to not go into the territory of preeclampsia. That's the rule. So to prevent that from happening, they just get your baby out. That's the solution. They tell you to just have your baby. Yeah, they like left the room after the nurse took my blood pressure, and we kind of looked at each other and we're like, so with the high blood pressure, like, that's not a problem, right? Like, we're already scheduled for an induction next week. What are they gonna do? Move it sooner?
Yes, the answer is yes, they move it sooner.
That is exactly what they do. She came back in, and the midwife came in, and I was like, yeah, so scheduled for an induction next Friday. You know, I had some questions about that, and the first thing she said, she's like, yeah, I actually wanted to discuss the timing of that with you, because of your blood pressure reading. She's like, essentially, I would like you to go be induced immediately. Like, the next available appointment is what we would recommend, that you just go be induced and have your baby.
Or as soon as possible.
Or
like,
as
she's
soon
like,
as possible.
What did she say? Because we're at term and there's a medical reason, we could just like go and make them do the induction.
Yeah, she was like, I could literally send you down to triage right now. You don't need an appointment for that. You could just go immediately, walk down and have your baby. Or the next best thing, which really, like, that's what she wanted us to do. That was her recommendation. She was like, I would prefer that you go immediately to triage and have your baby.
Or like, go home, make sure you have everything, and come back.
She didn't even really want that, but yes, that would be an option, I suppose. She's like, if you're not gonna do that, the next best thing would be to schedule for the next appointment that they have for an induction. She looked that up, and that is Saturday morning at 5 a.m. So that's what we're looking at. We have that scheduled.
Yep.
I don't know. We're having a baby, y'all. What do you say something? How are you feeling?
I mean, we're ready. As ready as we can be.
Are we?
I mean, no, but I feel like the waiting is like the worst, you know? Like, I don't know. I feel like rather than like sorting clothes and talking about diapers and feeding the baby, I just need to like do it instead of talking about it.
Yeah. Well, we're not going to be talking about it much longer because this is happening. This is actually not a drill. Anyway, we have slightly more than 24 hours until we head to the hospital. So, wish us luck. So, I was just telling Travis that it occurred to me this morning. I left the bedroom and checked the bird feeder like I do every morning to see if we had any birds there. And it occurred to me that yesterday we had our first bird at the bird feeder, and it seems like kind of
this morning we had
a sign from the universe that our home is ready, even though she's not here yet. We're ready, even though we don't feel like it. It just seems like a sign. We waited like a month for that bird, and then literally the day that we got the news that she's coming, we got one.
Yeah. There are definitely two birds at the feeder right now. They're like coming in. They were. And of course now they left.
We'll catch him on camera.
There he is. There's the tufted.
Oh. It is Friday morning, and depending how everything goes at the induction tomorrow morning, this could be our last day without a baby.
Yeah.
We are on our way back. We just drove in to get my blood work done so they can check my labs and see if there's any concern at the moment of preeclampsia. Fingers crossed that there is not, and we can finish out this day and go in for our induction tomorrow and then meet our baby.
Hopefully it's quick and we can. You're not in too much stress, and we can be home quick with a healthy baby.
Yeah, they said to essentially prepare for the induction to take a couple days. So we're not anticipating necessarily meeting her tomorrow, but it would be cool if we did. So we'll see what happens.
Probably, we're hoping 1/22/22 would be the birthday, but
It would be
probably asking a bit much.
be a cool birthday though.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3 would be pretty sweet too. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2. So we'll see. Any day is a good day to meet her.